morning, holy brothers and sisters! For the 28th of CHESHVAN in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, today's lesson is called Teaching Together. Teaching number 20, Tikunin, 9 rectifications. Zohar 2, 176b. All expounders of the Torah receive their explanations from the soul whose words are all like burning coals. As explained in the verse, is not my word like fire? Yirmiyah 23:29. This soul is riddled with suffering, as in, thus is the way of Torah. Bread with salt you shall eat, measured water you shall drink. Avos 6:4. And when this soul falls from the level of, is not my word like fire? And its words grow cold, it then expires, and with it depart the explanations of the Torah that were elicited through its agency. Then the expounders of Torah who received from this soul are unable to comprehend a single explanation of Torah, and conflict begins to engulf the tzaddikim. This is the main cause of controversy in the world, namely that the explanations which are the solutions to challenging questions and conflicts are lacking. The soul is the source. A person who wishes to evoke Torah lessons must first draw upon himself words as hot as burning coals. Now, speech is drawn from the supernal heart, as in the rock of my heart. Tehillim 73:26. Before receiving these words, a person must first pour out his heart in prayer before God. Then, through his prayers, God's compassion is stirred, and the supernal heart is opened, for compassion lies in the heart. From there, hot words pour forth, and by means of these words, Torah lessons are also drawn from there. Therefore, every expounder of the Torah must pray to God before teaching, in order to arouse the supernal heart, to inspire him with words like burning coals, and only afterward should he begin to expound. Fire the flames to ignite our insides for true Torah. When the true tzaddik teaches Torah in public, he binds himself before the lesson to the souls of his audience, and he pours forth his heart and his prayer before God. Then, because he is bound together with the souls of his listeners, his prayer is considered to be the prayer of a congregation, and it is undoubtedly accepted, as it is written, God is great and will not despise the prayer of the many. Iyov 36:5. Brachos 8a says that this refers to the prayers of a congregation. This prayer increases the holiness on high and arouses the supernal heart. In this way, the tzaddik evokes the Torah explanation that he speaks to his audience. It emerges that each one of the people present actually has a share in the Torah teaching that the tzaddik reveals at that time. For the greater the number of people who are present at that time, the greater the number of souls to which the sage binds himself when he puts forth his prayer, and the more holiness is increased on high. Moreover, the tzaddik's prayer arouses the supernal heart to a greater extent, drawing a greater revelation of Torah. It all depends on the number of people in attendance. This dynamic constitutes the difference between the person who studies a Torah lesson in a book and the person who hears it directly from the mouth of the sage himself. For the soul of the person who hears directly was surely bound to the soul of the sage at the time of his prayer, and therefore he has a share in this explanation. Furthermore, all of those people who are present at the time of the lesson have the evil in them subdued by the good in the sage who is teaching the lesson. And to whatever degree their own evil is subdued, so are the enemies subdued, namely the impure forces besieging the supernal heart. In this way, the tzaddik removes them from the domain of the other side and places them under the dominion of holiness. For these reasons, it is imperative to seek out opportunities to learn from our holy teachers live in person, better our bodies, grow our guides, and eliminate evil. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow, and please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.